Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about a new Unholy build that I've really been liking. I've been playing it in solo shuffle. I completely replaced my other build with it, so I think it takes the cake. But first I wanted to let you guys know that today's video is sponsored by intotheam clothing. If you want to get some really comfortable clothing, premium clothing, fits really well. I'll show you. Like, honestly, I love the fit of the clothing. Like, a lot of the times sleeves are really loose or something like that, but these fit really well. If you want to get 10% off, you can use my link in the description below with code PartyWafflesX. Or they have a Black Friday blowout deal going on November 18th. You can check that out. Let's get right into the video though. Okay guys, so let's take a look at this build here. So I'm going to highlight how the build works for you, okay? Essentially, this build is going to be a hybrid build. It's going to be hybrid gargoyle and dot build with super strain. So I'll just look on the left side and show you what you got here. Okay, so you have blind, you have IBF, you have short IBF as well. You have big anti-magic barrier, or sorry, you have big anti-magic shell, you have big death strike, you have anti-magic zone, not empowered though, you have asphyxiate, and you have will of necropolis for defensive. As far as for mobility, you have wraithwalk, and yeah, should be enough. You have death advance too, of course, but and then here we're gonna have cleaving hits for our scourge strikes. We're gonna take this for the 6% damage, for the strength, and for of course the haste from empowered rune weapon. So let's take a look on the right side. So like I said, the main thing here is going to be, this is going to be a dot pet build hybrid. So it's going to have the consistent damage from the dots. It's going to have the burst damage from the pets. Because what I was finding was the gargoyle all-in build that I made, it wasn't bad. It was good. It was really good for climbing in the lower rating where people were going to die really quickly. But if people didn't die, it kind of started to fall off a little bit because the damage would lack. So this one kind of fixes that. So it's more tuned for high rated, which is nice. So we're going to look through here. We're going to have Plague Bringer rather right here, increase your dot damage. We're going to have the fast dot for more dots. And then like I said, we're going to have Gargoyle and Super Strain for even more dots. Let's look at Conduits first. So we're going to take a look at these Conduits and everything first. So it's going to be important. You're going to want Brutal Grasp for the A-Bomb Limb damage, just for right now, obviously, because we still have A-Bomb Limb right now. We're going to take this for the 1% Death Strike healing increase, because we have a lot of HP, and Death Strike is pretty insane right now. We're going to take Lingering Plague, obviously because we're playing the dot build, and this is going to synergize with the dots. We're going to take Embrace Death, because there's also a couple coil talents in here too. We have improved Death Coil, Double Coil, things like that. So we're going to go ahead and grab the Coil Conduit. One other thing I forgot to mention here is Reaping. So when people are low, when they're below 20%, when they're below 35% HP, your things are going to hit extra hard. So say you get a Doom Burst, a Sudden Doom Coil proc, okay? You want to hold that coil until they're 35%, and then it's going to hit extra hard, because it's kind of like an execute. So I find this really good for Reaping, really good for landing kills. All right, so those are the Conduits you're going to play. As far as this one, you could put something else in here if you wanted. I like Fleeting Winds. You can swap it over to the zone, to this side. It's whatever you want, really. Same with down here. You can either go whichever path here you want. I'm personally chilled with Resilience. The other one here is Hardened Bones. So as far as Legendary goes, I'm going to be playing this Legendary. Frenzied Monstrosity. As far as stats go, I'm going to be playing Mastery, just the same stats as I had before. Mastery verse with about 15% haste. You could have a little bit more haste, it would definitely not be bad. But Mastery scales your shadow damage, which is dots, as well as your pet damage, which this is a dot pet build, so you can see how that synergizes well. And then as far as Trinket, I'm just going to be using my badge, and I'm going to be using it with my burst. So for your Rune Forge, it's going to be falling... I was playing Frost, okay? This is an oversight. I forgot to swap this for the video. But you're going to be playing a Rune of Fallen Crusader, not Razor Ice, okay? Fallen Crusader. I just want to show you guys. I've been playing Unholy a lot, by the way. I was almost 2400 as Unholy, so this build works very well to push with. The next thing we're going to do here is show you guys how to do damage. So basically, you have Gargoyle and you have Empowered Rune Weapon, okay? So one thing that I've been doing that you could do to bake this in and make it easier is... you can put the Empowered Rune Weapon and the Gargoyle into your Apocalypse button. So you can make a macro for those. You want to put them on your bar somewhere else so you can see when they're up still, but you could just use that button to use them, essentially. But so the basic rotation is going to be this, okay? You're going to want to keep your dots up because you have triple dots. obviously keep your dots up. You want to make your wounds, make your festering wounds, make your festering wounds, pop the festering wounds. But what happens when you use a Scourge Strike and pop a wound? You don't necessarily have to pop a wound to activate it, but what happens when you use a Scourge Strike is going to be Plague Bringer. Diseases occur 100% more quickly. So essentially you're going to have 3 things triple dotted, and you're going to be bursting your wounds on this guy, and then it's just going to ramp up your dots on everything, and you're just going to be cleaving like a madman. But that's basically the damage, right? It's the same as always for Frost. Just apply your Festers, pop the Festers. Dump the death coils, right? Dump your runic power with coils. But the only other layer here is that you're going to be triple dotting things, and you're going to be Plague Bringing to keep your dots ticking really fast. You want to have a lot of uptime on Plague Bringer. That's basically it. So that's how you're going to do damage outside of your burst. When you want to burst, it's going to be simple, okay? Like I said, I got the Gargoyle, I got the Empowered Rune Weapon into the Apocalypse. So my burst rotation is going to consist of about 3 buttons, 4 if you include A-Bomb Limb. So if I already have the wounds on the target, we're going to assume that I already have the wounds, okay? If you don't have the wounds, obviously you're just going to fester to put up 4 wounds for your Apocalypse. So I already have the wounds. I don't need to dot because Unholy Blight's going to dot for me. So basically it's going to go like this. It's going to go the same as before, essentially, but Unholy Blight, Dark Transformation, Apocalypse, A-Bomb Limb at the end. The reason I'm doing the Unholy Blight and the Dark Transformation before the Apocalypse is because the Apocalypse pets are going to take they're going to take a second to come out of the ground, okay? So we don't want to miss that second of uptime and the second of buffing them up with Dark Transformation, everything like that. So it's going to look just like this, okay? After you get the pets out, of course, you're just going to be bursting wounds, dumping death coils, bursting wounds, dumping death coils. So it's going to look like this, all right? Unholy Blight, Dark Transformation, Apocalypse, which pops my Gargoyle and my Empower, and then I'm bursting wounds, dumping coils, you know, building more wounds, bursting wounds, dumping coils. Just essentially you want to just make sure your necrotic wounds are stacked, right? Those are going to be prior over coils. But when you have a Gargoyle going, every coil that you dump or every Death Strike you dump is going to make your Gargoyle do more damage. So if you have wounds, try to start dumping coils as much as you can. Dumping coils, because your Gargoyle is going to be powered up 1% increased damage for every 1 runic power you spend. So you want to be just dumping runic power. But that's essentially that. That's pretty much it. Just keep your dots up, keep your Plague Bringer up, and then burst just like that. One other thing I wanted to add in. So after your first huge go, which is going to be the Gargoyle Empowered Rune Weapon go, after that, your next go is going to be Dark Transformation and Unholy Blight. So basically, you're going to have your one massive go, and then you're going to have 45-second goes, which is going to consist of Unholy Blight, Dark Transformation. And then the next go after that, you're going to have Apocalypse back. So the first go is going to be Apocalypse, Gargoyle, Empowered Rune Weapon, Dark Transformation, Unholy Blight, all in one, A-Bomb Limb. And then the next go is going to just be Unholy Blight, Dark Transformation. And then the next go after that is going to be Unholy Blight, Dark Transformation, Apocalypse. And you could wait the extra 30 seconds and stack A-Bomb Limb with it as well, or you could not, and then but it just continued like that. So my last tip for you guys is to make sure that you're using Death and Decay, okay? It's really important. It does big damage anytime. So essentially when you're doing the burst, it's really nice if you can get everyone to stack up, because you're going to be cleaving with Unholy Blight, cleaving with A-Bomb Limb, cleaving. So when you have wounds on multiple people and you have them stacked, you want to make sure you're doing this, okay? You want to drop a Death and Decay, and you want to be cleaving with the Death and Decay, because your Scourge Strikes are going to be hitting everyone. When you're standing in Death and Decay, your Scourge Strikes cleave. So that's a big important thing. Like, if you're cleaving Scourge Strikes in your go, it's going to be massive damage, and that's going to really put your damage to the next level. So you got to watch for that one. This is what I've been doing to succeed in the higher bracket, because like I said, the Gargoyle build to me, it fell off a little bit at higher rated. Like, it's still good. It still has its place, right? It's not bad. There's situations you would use it, like say carries, lower rated, anything like that. But this build just seems a little bit more rounded. So if you have any other questions or anything like that, just drop them in the comments below. If you want to see me do this live in solo shuffle, I mostly do it. I do that stuff every day on my stream. So twitch.tv/PartyWafflesX. I'm always PvPing there. Anyways, thank you guys for watching today, and I hope you guys have a good one. Peace.